Hi, I'm Tony Crimlis. A while ago I posted a video tutorial on the Deadwood stage and somebody liked it and suggested I did another song from the same musical. This is the Black Hills of Dakota. Take me back to the Black Hills of Dakota, to the beautiful Indian country that I love. Lost my heart to the Black Hills of Dakota, where the pines are so high they kiss the sky above. And when I get that lonesome feeling and I'm miles away from home, I hear the voice of the mystic mountains calling me back home. So take me back to the Black Hills of Dakota, to the beautiful Indian country that I love. And when I get that lonesome feeling and I'm miles away from home, I hear the voice of the mystic mountains calling me back home. So take me back to the Black Hills of Dakota, to the beautiful Indian country that I love. To the beautiful Indian country that I love. As I said, the Black Hills of Dakota, the song is a rather nostalgic and sentimental song from the 1953 film Calamity Jane. The real Calamity, however, whose real name was Martha Jane Cannery, 1582 to 1903, was, so far as I can tell, anything but sentimental. She was a hardy frontierswoman, adept with a six-gun shooter and with a weakness for the demon drink, which probably contributed to her death, if not causing it outright. In the musical, she is, of course, wonderfully played by the always overtly feminine Doris Day. Like the rest of the score, the Black Hills of Dakota was composed by Sammy Fain with lyrics by Paul Francis Webster. The Black Hills themselves are an isolated mountain range in the United States, rising from the Great Plains in North America, in West and South Dakota, and extending to Wyoming. I went there in 2006 on a National Parks and Canyon County tour of the Midwest, seeing Mount Rushmore, Yellowstone National Park, Salt Lake City, the Grand Canyon, and, for me, the even more impressive but smaller Bryce Canyon, and ending in Las Vegas. For this song, I'm using a baritone ukulele because of its deep, rich sound. Baritones can be played in exactly the same way as standard soprano, concert or tenor ukuleles with the same hand shapes, but the resulting chord it plays will sound 5 notes higher. For example, in the finger chord of C, which would normally be this on a standard one, but that is now a chord of G. If I play the chord of F with standard fingering, that will actually sound as a C chord. Baritone chord boxes therefore look different, but the hand shapes will be the same. The key for this song is usually D, but I've arranged it in C, and there are scores in standard ukes in both C and G. The key you choose will depend on the range of your voice. For me, C on a standard uke is a bit low. Take me back to the Black Hills of Dakota. And G suited my voice better. So here are the chords for Black Hills of Dakota in the key of G on a tenor uke. Take me, C, back to the G, C, G, then A minor, F, D7, Dakota, the beautiful Indian country that I, G, then E7, A minor, D7, then the next bit is the same, and then after that, when you get that lonesome feeling, it's a G7 chord, and I, C, get that lonesome, C minor, small bar at the 3rd fret, either that or 3 fingers down together, or 2 fingers covering one string, or these 2 fingers, this finger covering those 2 strings. But the small bar is probably the easiest. And then miles, now B7, you can have a B7 with a bar. I from home, E minor, which I like, but you could also do it with a B7 shape like this, miles away, and that's convenient because it's just the same shape moved across. A minor, I hear the voice of the mystic mountains, A7, A7, get D7 back home, and it's the same as before. Back to the baritone ukulele, and I'm going through the chords as it would be in the key of C for a standard ukulele, but of course on the baritone it will come out as the key of G. I've written out scores in both C for standard players and also in G for baritone players. Back with the baritone again, I'll go through the chords. Start off with the key of G, and the first note to sing is this one's 3rd string. Take me, and a C chord, then an F chord. Back to the Black Hills, the Black Hills of G7 Dakota, to the beautiful Indian country that I'll see. A7, D minor, G7, and that's repeated for the 2nd verse. And then the end of that verse you do a G7, and when I, then an F chord, and I go into a brush stroke here. Let that lonesome, an F minor chord, feeling, and I'm by C7, way from A minor, D minor. I get the voice of the D7 mystic mountains calling me, G7 home, and the rest of it's the same. Sorry if that's a bit confusing, but I've written scores out in both standard ukuleles in the key of C and also in G, and for baritone players with the proper chord boxes. So, well, I hope that's not being too confusing. The baritone ukulele is a beautiful instrument. I do suggest you have a go at it if you haven't already. The tuning is the same as the top 4 strings of a guitar, just as a bass ukulele is the same as the lower 4 strings on a guitar. You now have a choice. You can play it in C, or you can play it in G on a standard ukulele, that's tenor, concert or soprano, or you can play it on a baritone ukulele using the chord shapes of C, or using the proper baritone chord shapes which I've put on at the end of the video. Anyway, whatever you do and however you do it, whatever you decide, have fun.